All right. Yeah. So continuing the YouTube journey here, junior creator that I am, I've never actually hired an editor to edit one of my videos. It's always been, well, just low production value, let's put it that way. And I decided going forward, I want to get myself a proper editor. And what excited me about that was that I could continue to do my style, which is still basically stand in front of my computer and my microphone and do a talking head presentation, but that can then be edited with all kinds of footage and cuts and overlays to get it to the point where it is of the standard you expect in an engaging audience building, storytelling kind of video. So I did my first ever attempt at that. I've got a list of topics, but I wanted to start with one that's very current. I actually bought an apartment in Ukraine several years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. And I did a really fun renovation project where the place looks like a bomb had been dropped. All this trash was there and we renovated it. So I actually wrote a blog post about it back a couple of years ago and people really enjoyed that. Everyone loves renovation stories. Yeah, so I decided to do a video this time. And obviously there's also that question of, there's a war going on in Ukraine. Did a rocket hit my building and is my apartment still there? So I want to address that. People have been asking me about that. So, I just sat down and recorded my talking head telling the story and then gave it to the editor and, said, listen, do your magic. I didn't give much guidance. And she was awesome. Shout out to Alex. She, grabbed video footage from my Instagram without me asking her. Did some stock footage. Obviously, you get footage of the actual city in Ukraine that my apartment's in.
You didn't give her any direction on that? She just did it?
A little bit. I gave her direction like saying, here's the blog post, here's the before and after photos. Obviously use those. But she went, beyond that.
Yeah, because I remember there was it showed the city, it showed where the apartment was versus where others were. So you never said anything.
I didn't say much. I gave her I obviously looked at some of her other work, but she was also really positive in how she interacted with me because I looked at 30, 40 different people and had quite a few conversations. So I'm happy with the result. Of course, it's why isn't it going viral? Why isn't everyone searching for Ukraine apartments? And even just the thumbnail, it says, did my apartment get hit by a rocket? That should be getting everyone's attention. So I'm hoping, as I know, Matt, you've talked about with this show and videos in general, it's a long-term play. What I want in particular is a back catalog where your engagement time is up across all your videos, which then tells the algorithm each time you release a new video, let's push it a little further, grow your subscriber base and just get that compounding effect of variables. The problem with my channel, it's quite old. I think my channel is probably 10, 15 years old. And you go back and my first video was, I think it was 2007 actually. And I was doing a product launch online for the first time ever of my first ever course. And I had long hair. The video is really grainy. And I'm just sitting there talking for 3 minutes about how tired I am after doing a product launch. And then you go forward, there's podcast interview videos. There's random travel videos, which are vlogging, but terrible. And then, the production quality is just not there. So if anyone goes and looks at my back catalog, it's not a great impression. So I want to at least have the most recent 10, 20, 30 videos be of a better quality. And also, because I have my blog, I can leverage what I know as blog topics have been compelling, turn them into videos using the same kind of format and go from there. As a good example, there's a topic, how I made my first $1 million writing. That is a YouTube thumbnail, a YouTube video that many YouTubers have used, anyone who's achieved that result. And it's always compelling. So I know I could put together one of those too. I've made a lot of money from blogging. So I'm excited to keep experimenting. And I love, as Andrew said off air, the fact that you just say, here's my raw footage and it comes back dynamic. And it's actually fun for you because you kind of get to watch your own show for the first time going, oh, that's cool. I like the way they did that. So I really enjoyed the process.
Yeah, I watched it. I thought what I loved about it is that you always had these open loops. You kept bringing it back to your apartment. You were telling all the stories about crypto and so on, and then you kept being like, oh, don't worry, this has to do with the apartment, right? Because at first it felt like you might be going off topic into this crypto thing, right? I love that, and I also loved that you offered your place as a refuge for people who needed it. I thought that was really generous of you. So I just want to point that out. I'm just curious because I I actually thought your video did pretty well because I noticed that right now you're at almost 1,000 views, and it was like almost immediate. Like you shared it with me on Instagram. I watched the whole thing. I got hooked into it right away. So I think it was excellent.
That's great.
I
can convince Matt to watch the whole thing.
I didn't think I would. Honestly, I was making breakfast. I started getting into it, and I kept watching the whole thing. I loved it. So I give it 10 out of 10. And that's why I'm surprised that your editor was able to figure out all those little points into your editing. I think it was really good. It's very call it YouTuber-like. I'm curious about Andrew's take. Because Andrew would know what to optimize here. I have some ideas too, but
here's the real criticism. All right, Andrew,
come
on.
Get me. Well, Yaro, I'm going to kick things off just by echoing what Matt just said. I'm looking at almost 750 views right now, published 1 day ago, and as I scroll through all of your most recent videos, I don't see anything that has reached that many views.
I have juiced it though. I sent this one to my newsletter, which I don't normally do because they're not like production value videos or they're off topic. So I'd say 500 of those are so juiced.
Yeah. So I got a couple tips for you if you're open for a roast.
Oh boy, I didn't sign up for a roast, but I'm doing it. All right, let me. Okay.
You're getting free consultation here.
I would totally drop property in Ukraine out of the thumbnail because the title says I bought an apartment in Ukraine. It's duplication.
So the thumbnail.
Yeah, I would get rid of
just the big mistake is all I need.
I would just leave it at big mistake because that's compelling. That creates curiosity. Like, why is this a big mistake? Why do I want to know what's going on here? And I mean, Ukraine is already a controversial subject. So, and you have apartment in Ukraine in the title. Get rid of the text. Too much. This is what most people screw up. Less is more. Less is more with thumbnails. If you confuse the eye, the user will scroll past it. Don't ever confuse the eye. And I would like to see you bigger. I want to see you closer to the lens, or just have the graphic designer zoom in on you so I can get more emotion. What's the majority of users on YouTube? Mobile, right? And I need to connect with you. I need to connect with you in order to convince me to click, right? I haven't watched the video yet. This is actually my first time landing on your YouTube channel, but I'm going to check it out and be more than happy to mention a couple other things. But you mentioned that you promoted it to your email list. For future reference, I would hold off 30 days.
Interesting. How come?
30 days, because you need to let the YouTube AI do what it does better than anything else on the planet.
Really?
So you need the natural, let's see how this video performs without that little boost.
And let me tell you why. Okay. Let me tell you why. This is a common mistake. Promoting a video as soon as it goes live because you're trying to drive traffic to it right away. I would caution you against that, only because there's going to be people on your email list. There's going to be social media followers that know you, like you, and trust you, but they're not actually interested in this particular video whatsoever. So let's just go through a hypothetical scenario here, right? They're your friend, they're your family member, you're the colleague, they know you and they like you. So they're going to click on it. And then they're going to watch the first 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds maybe, until they finally check that mental box, go, yeah, I've done my good deed today.
What you're saying.
I've shown Yaro my support. And then they're going to look at their watch and they're going to go, wait a second, do I have 17 minutes to watch this that I'm not really interested?
Matt did. I got Matt.
Yeah, so I thought
so. He's Andrew, the exception.
I thought that when you upload it on YouTube, you want to get as much traffic as soon as possible in order to get those view times and watches up.
The right traffic. I'm almost done. The right traffic. That's vitally important, because that scenario I just described to you, there's probably more of those people in your newsletter or your social media than you want to admit. It's hard to measure that. You really can't. So when they bounce at 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, what did you just tell the YouTube AI? You told them, the machine, because the machine...
Low engagement.
The machine doesn't know that this is good content or bad content. The machine is measuring human behavior. And you sent the wrong traffic to the video. The YouTube AI assumes it's crap content and it limits the video.
So my data shows about 6 minutes on average is being watched of the video. Would you say that's a good indication or a bad indication? But so far, anyway, 24 hours later.
The average view duration is 6 minutes. I normally like to see at least half, but it's not terrible. I mean, it's only been live for a day, so we need to give the video time to breathe. We need to give the AI time to do its thing. But when you promote it to an email list or share YouTube videos on social media so quickly, you are screwing up the YouTube AI's job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Great.
Offline.
I was just thinking that you should have, or I'm just curious, real quick, Andrew, do you think that he should have started a new channel?
I haven't done like a full analysis. How many different kinds of content do you have on here?
It's a mess. It's a mess.
Well, you and I can take it offline. Basically, if you're targeting a completely different viewer avatar, then it should be on a different channel. That's the quickest way I can summarize that question. Yeah.